G'day everyone, it's SDS SuperCoach, reviewing SuperCoach content for you. I'm here to present a bit of a different video. This is going to feel like an Abs Magic style video of how I am going to finish my team. So we'll see how we go. Now, obviously, you may see a couple of interesting additions to this team. This is what I'm thinking. So we may as well get involved straight away. Ashcroft in for Sicily, and this one's a bit ridiculous. Zeeble in for Keys. I'll explain why. So Ashcroft for Sicily, I was planning on doing that this whole week, so that's not changing. Zeeble, who's got a 172 break even, and then we've got Ben Keys, who has had, I will show you. Let's have a look at DFS Australia. Ben Keys the past 2 weeks, 70% CBAs, 75% CBAs. If that continues, then at 369K, that is a steal. That is an absolute steal. But that's the key. He needs to stay in the midfield, and I think he will. Now, there'll obviously be a couple of games where I think he might tag Dacos, that sort of thing. That sort of worked for Collingwood. Worked for Adelaide last game. They really eliminated him out of the game. But I'm gonna get off Zeeble while he's at a good price, and jump on Ben Keys. So it's a bit of a rogue one, bit of a risky one. It's certainly a punt that isn't for the faint-hearted, but I'm just willing to see how this goes, man. We're just willing to see how this goes. This is going to be a fairly interesting pick. I know it's only Monday, so things could change, but this is my early thoughts, my plan. So because I'm doing this, I kind of thought in my head, I actually wonder if I could keep Humphrey for the whole season and have him loop with Keys for the rest of the season. So I'll explain why. So let's go over this. Round 14, I trade, let's say Marich makes his debut. Very likely that he makes his debut this week. Marich to Weddle, or let's just say, for old time's sake, and this might even be round 15 trades. I haven't decided. It clearly depends on, I guess, my buys, but this isn't very buy-friendly. I've got a feeling it's not going to be a great buy rounds for me. So see how this goes. So Josh Weddle to a 102,400 bloke. So I've already done the calculations. I've spent about half an hour calculating whether this can work, so I'll just explain it. I'm not going to recalculate everything. But I'm roughly... So I'm going to have him for one more week, because do remember he does have his buy here, to roughly get to 340K. So I bank that. Got Harry Arnold, so that's going to bank me a lot of coin here. Then the next move, I would go Chincotta out, who I'm saying roughly he could get up to, let's say, 260K. So that's another 25K over the next 2 weeks. I think that's possible. So I've roughly gone on averages, maybe a little bit biased towards my way because I just want this plan to work. But it would be Chincotta. And who's the other bloke? Eddie Ford. I'm expecting, I think roughly I estimated around I think I was pretty nice. I said like 230K. I think. I could be wrong. Maybe 240, whatever. I'm expecting Eddie Ford because I think Eddie Ford's actually got a really nice he's got a really nice game against the Giants that I think he can score well at. And then the Western Bulldogs might be a little bit of a struggle. Roughly, I said about 240K. Maybe a 55 average from here. So I trade Ford out for, Weddle to, let's just say, Harry Arnold from the Swans. Key defender, mid-season player. I think he could get a few games here and there. I just really need that 102K price tag. Then Ford to Marich. All right, so we've got a lot of money in the bank. We're then going to... so that's what's going to happen. Let's say Ford to Marich, and then Chincotta to Darcy Cameron, who's going to be roughly at about 460K heading into... so grab him after his buy. So this is round 15 trades. Then round 16 comes. A lot of money in the bank. Keep that in mind. Johnson to Walsh. Walsh is expected to go down to as low as at about 520 if he averages about 105. Let's just say that. So he could be 520K. So Johnson to Walsh, that can happen. And there you go. That's how I leave it as my team. If you need a look at what we're doing, I made a little Google Docs thing here. So heading into round 16, this is how the team should look. Sheasel, Stewart, Dacos, Sinclair, Sicily, Day. Oliver, with the bench being Arnold and Mullen. Oliver, Bont, Laird, Green, Brayshaw, Merritt, Walsh, Dawson, with my bench being Constable, Sharp, and Roberts. Now, this is pretty important because Constable's got defender status on my midfield bench, Sharp mid status, and Roberts mid forward status. So we get each of those loops. Sharp's just a pure mid, so it doesn't really matter. In the ruck line, we got English and Marshall, bench Madden, Dunkley, Taranto, Rosie, Gordon, Cameron, Keys, with Humphrey on the bench. We're going to loop Keys and Humphrey each week because Keys' role could change every now and then. He could be a forward tagger, could be a mid. Humphrey might slow down, so it's a little bit risky that way, but at least we can loop them, potentially get a solid score, hopefully each week out of one of them. And then Marich is there. 4 injury trades left with about 80,700 in the bank. And another thing I'd probably look to do whenever he's back, and this is why putting Constable as a defensive mid on my bench is really important. My plan is when Callum Mills returns and he eventually drops down in price. So look, 171 break even, already priced at 471, 400. So even if I think that's a bit stiff. So it might take a couple of games for him to get going, but I think eventually he could if he can get back to his old role and old form. I think just at that price, that's really tempting. And Sydney need him in the middle to make sure they get into finals. So they kind of need him in the middle. So they should be playing him in the middle. I know he's coming off a calf injury, but that's a risk I'm willing to take. And this is why Constable being here would be super important, because I can trade either, because Sheasel or Day, as you saw in the Google Docs here, Sheasel and Day are both in my back line. So I can trade Sheasel or Day, whichever one I prefer, to Mills if I feel like he's ready, and I feel like, yep, ready to pick him up at that cheap price. Whether they go up or down with Mills via Sheasel or Day, we don't know yet. And then use Dawson and just swing him back into the back line and get in Mills here. Yeah, so that is realistically the plan. Thought I'd make you guys this video, just giving my thoughts on the overall plan. It's a bit ridiculous. This could easily maybe cost my season, but at the same time, at the end of the day, it's a bit of a game. So just a bit of forward planning there from my side, and I'm pretty excited to see where it takes me. Keys could be one of those moves. I put out a tweet saying I'm really considering Ben Keys, and I got some pretty positive stuff on it and some other stuff going, not sure about that. So I think Ben Keys is kind of a make or break it pick, where if this works out, and then brilliant, got a keeper at 370, a midfielder playing, full-time midfielder at 369k. So grouse. If this doesn't work and Humphrey falls off, gee, this could end pretty badly. And especially so, it'd be one of those things where it's just hope that Keys continues to play in the midfield. One of those picks I usually wouldn't go for, but sometimes you just got to mix it up. I feel like I've gone by the book quite a bit this year, and I guess that's put me in a good position. But sometimes if you want to get to that next step, you've got to go to the next level in terms of thinking and trading. This is what I'm thinking. And I'm interested to see what everyone thinks of this. It's a bit ridiculous. So just to keep in mind, everyone, this would be my final team. So let's just say, and then I'll do this. Let's just say it cost me 20k and a trade to go from Sheasel to Mills, for example. Sheasel could get pretty low. So Dawson would move into here, and then you've got, instead of Dawson here, you've got Mills. And then I've got not one injury trade left. I would have 3. And 60K in the bank. I like having a bit of money in the bank. So probably from here, I'm not really looking at money makers. I feel like I've already got that. Dropping Zeeble to Keys really helps that. I bank about 150K. And I believe Keys and Zeeble from here can probably average the same. And if not, I think Keys could average more. I may as well take advantage of Zeeble while he's at that 517 price tag, and Keys, who is about to skyrocket in price. So, yeah, that's just the thoughts there, guys. Let me know what your thoughts on it. Been a bit selfish throughout my videos this week, so I'll start talking more in general about SuperCoach to help you guys, give advice, that sort of stuff. So, hope you guys have a good week, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers.